Aeneid, Book 1, 464 to 493. So we are with Aeneas and Achates wrapped in their cloak of invisibility in the middle of the sacred grove of Carthage. They've come to the temple that's being built for Juno, and they watch the pretty pictures on the walls. Thus he speaks, and he feeds his soul, ablative means phrase, with the empty picture, because it's not the life, bewailing many things. Oh, there's that heroic moaning and groaning that he does. And he bedews, he makes moist his countenance, his face, with a copious flood of tears, understood. So he's weeping like a man. Not This is not seen as weakness to the ancients, though it would be to us. For he was beholding how, we have a series of indirect question clauses, how on this side the Greeks warring around Pergama. Pergama is exactly the citadel of Troy, but it's used by synecdoche, or part for the whole, to describe all of Troy. So how they were, how the warring Trojan Greeks were warring around Troy were fleeing, and the Trojan youths were pressing on. So good, they were having a picture of the Trojans actually winning. On this side, the Phrygians, which would be the Trojans, fled. So we have here Hak and Hak, right? Here on this side, and here on the other side, they're fleeing. So it's the whole picture. Christastus, crested Achilles, was pursuing them in his chariot. Nor far from here, far hence, lacrimans, weeping, more weeping, he recognizes the tents of Rhesus. What kind of tents? With their snowy white awnings or sails. Therefore, the Rhesus had come to help the Trojans. There's plenty in the commentary on the history. And they've got ablative of probably respect or specification, the ablative being used as an adjective. Which what? Probably the tense. Having been betrayed in the first sleep. Yes. The cruel Tydides, the cruel son of Tydides, was devastating with much slaughter. Great story in the Iliad of Diomedes, son of Tydides, and Odysseus coming to kill Rhesus and steal his horses, because prophecy said that if his horses ate the pasture of Ilium, Troy would never fall. So they did a night raid. Pretty good story. And he turns away his, this would be Tydides, turns away the fiery horses, the burning horses, into the camp of the Greeks before they had tasted the fodder of Troy, just like I said, and had drunk of the Xanthus River. Ablative place phrase in another part, Troilus flying with his arms having been lost, the unhappy boy, and the unequal and matched unequally with dative of reference to Achilles. When you have equal and unequal, it takes the dative of reference. He is born, good old Troilus, little guy, by his horses, means phrase, or cause, I guess, because it probably means. And he holds holds by empty chariot. Why? Lying on his back, poor Troilus. However, keeping his reins, so he's lying on his back in the empty chariot, trying to avoid Achilles. Both his neck and his hairs are dragged of him. This is the dative possessive. His hair and neck dragged to him through the ground. Oh no, this isn't so cool. He's being dragged, and is imprinted, and the dust is imprinted by his inverted spear. So, what that means is Troilus got killed. He's in his chariot, and he's being dragged by the horses his head and neck bouncing along in the ground, and his spear trailing along beside him. That's what nice pictures you see here. In the meanwhile, the Iliades, the Trojan women, with their ablative of specification, or could be with their ablative absolute, with their hair having been suffered or having been disheveled, we're going to the temple of not, to the temple genitive possessive of not fair Pallas, Athena, who hated the Trojans. And they were carrying suppliantly, or as beggars to the gods, the peplum, the sacred robe. And they were, how were they doing it? Sadly, they were bearing the sacred robe because they were trying to get Athena to go on their side. Of course, that won't happen. And this is referring to the Trojan matrons or mothers having beaten, accusative neuter plural, in respect to their chests with their palms. The goddess, the adverse goddess, or the goddess who was opposed, was holding her eyes fixed on the ground. It's like, hey, nice gift, get the heck out of here. 3 times around the Trojan, the Ilian walls, or walls of Troy, Achilles had dragged the Hector, accusative, Greek accusative actually, and was exchanging his lifeless corpse for gold. So therefore, Priam comes in and says, could I have the body of my son? Here's some gold. And Achilles goes, sure. Then, truly he gives, this would be Aeneas, a big groan from his deepest chest. So he's very emotional right now. He's just a big emo wreck. As he, indicative, so it's as, not as, so that, as he beheld the spoils, as he understood, beheld the chariot, and as he beheld the body itself of his friend Hector, and as he beheld Priam extending his unarmed hands, oh, help me, Achilles, give me my body of my son. And so also he recognized, mingled with the Argive chieftains and the eastern bands, and so therefore he recognized himself. Oh, he recognized who? Himself. There I am. I'm mingled. There I am. Action shot. Me fighting with the Achaeans, the Greeks, and the eastern bands, and the arms of Black Memnon. Interesting story. He also, where Virgil now goes to direct discourse, Penthesilea, raging along, leads, this is the Trojan woman, not Trojan, Amazonian woman, raging, leads her battle line, not of sheep and deer, unarmed deer, but her battle line of Amazons. With their moony shields, with their moon-like shields. We'll talk shield. Amazonians only had like a shield which was curved, like a half moon, because they're tough. And Penthesilea burns in the middle, soldier-likes, in the middle of thousands. Subnectans having bound or binding her exertai mamai, having bound, and what case is exertai mamai? Dative or genitive? Let's hold off on that. Having bound a golden belt, the warrioress, having bound her golden belts, probably to her exposed breast. The Amazonians fought with one breast out. Don't know why. And the virgin maiden dares to run with men. So, very exciting. We see Aeneas is seeing the entire story of the Trojan War. So these people are certainly aware of him. What will be the result? Will they side with the Greeks because Juno hated the Trojans? Will they be pleasant to the Trojans? Those questions and more will be asked next time we tune in, true believers.